We were just hearing there from the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and New South Wales Premier Chris Minns, among other authorities, after another anti-Semitic attack in Sydney's east. A graffiti was sprayed on a wall and a fire set at a childcare centre. Police and politicians there condemning the attack, saying it will be investigated by Strike Force Pearl and that additional resources have been given to police. Miles Holbrook Walk is at the scene for us now. So Miles, we've just heard from the Premier and the Prime Minister. What more do we know about this attack?
Well, Mel, let's start with the actual details. It was just before 1 o'clock this morning that police and fire authorities were alerted to this incident, and it's here where they came upon graffiti that had an anti-Semitic statement on it that they're now investigating, but also a very involved fire. The building, which is a childcare centre, thankfully unattended at the time, was significantly damaged as a consequence. We saw these fires burning out, and you can still smell remnant smoke right here at the scene now. Now, we've also got police officers and fire crews still doing their investigative duties here on site, where they're inspecting the scene and gathering evidence. Of course, at this stage, no arrests have been made, but you heard of the determination, not just of the police leadership, but also of the Premier of New South Wales, Chris Minns, as well as Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, a desire to see arrests come as a result, and combining both federal police operations as well as state police operations, and the ability to designate something a terrorist offence, giving police powers and resources beyond their usual remit. And they even reference how in other instances where there wasn't necessarily an alleged anti-Semitic attack, but other alleged incidents where they were able to use those powers in southwest Sydney, in Wakeley, and as a result make consequential arrests and charges as a result of having those additional powers. So authorities, particularly the government here, really strong in saying that this is despicable conduct, as they've described it. At one point, Chris Minns described the people who may be responsible for this as animals, given that they've targeted a childcare centre.
What we saw overnight, in the middle of the night, with this attack, is the latest in a series of anti-Semitic hate crimes. And it is a crime, a vicious crime, to think through how you could think that something like this would advance any alleged cause that people might have. The only objective which will be achieved by this crime is the fulfilment of these people being caught, charged and facing the full force of the law.
I want to make it clear that this is atrocious. Right now, New South Wales Police are conducting a major investigation in relation to who is responsible for this vicious hate crime, but I think we know enough already, without knowing the identities, to know the kind of people that we are dealing with. The kind of people that would burn down a childcare centre on the day children are meant to be returning to the classroom. The kind of people that would burn it down because it located next to a synagogue. The kind of people that would make the kind of activity where they would attack a fellow Australian whom they don't know because of their race or religion. It is completely disgusting. And these bastards will be rounded up by New South Wales Police.
And worth noting, Mel, that this childcare centre is not an expressly Jewish childcare centre. Obviously, it has proximity to a Jewish school as well as a synagogue as well here in Maroubra, but itself it's not a theistic organisation. The care it provides for children is not expressly religious in any way, and so yet it is proximity to this synagogue, which is why it's been labelled an anti-Semitic attack, and the subsequent very serious investigations are to follow. For now, what we're hearing is a real unease in the community, and that speaks perhaps broadly to what is going on in Sydney right now with a string of anti-Semitic incidents. Almost it feels like a weekly basis we're talking about this, and certainly I've been to other sites in Sydney, including the Albanese Synagogue and the Newtown Synagogue, which are both targeted over the weekend and indeed last week as well. So a real a slew of these incidents taking place now.